What's up, and welcome to Nighttime at the Nerd Bar episode. I'm like, which direction? 45? Or do you read it this way? 45? Anyway, 45.
45.
Depends. Do you read left to right or right to left? But yes, we are here. Monday energy of all that excitement. We have
Oh
a
my God.
lot in store for all of you. We're excited to be back. If you're watching it live, join us in the live chat. And if you're watching it later, no worries. Comment down below. I am Carrie Lane.
And I'm Katie Cullen. I'm going to say thank you all for sticking with us. I'm a touch under the weather, so that'll be fun. Different kind of Monday energy.
Yes, but you know what? We are excited to be here. We will be talking about, we have Overwatch, League, because Katie's back to talk about all that kind of excitement.
Yeah!
So there has been a ton of announcements from New York Comic Con, so we got some highlights of that for you. We also will get, last week we would have talked about Overlord, so we'll give you our quick thoughts on how that season wraps up. And then the other huge meteor pieces of this, we will be talking Spy Family and My Hero Academia, and it's hiding behind there.
I was gonna say it is hiding
I
back
have a
there.
Japan crate for
Yay!
unboxing. It's October, so I'm so excited. Live chat. We got John Knight. Hi, Katie and Carrie. Hello. But yes, let's get into some things right away. So first off, things we're excited about. We unfortunately were not able to attend New York Comic Con. Katie got to go to New York for other reasons, and prior to it,
I went to New York for a personal vacation. It's like, oh wait, New York Comic Con was like 3 weeks afterward. Damn it! I couldn't. No, it would not have worked out. But the fun thing was seeing all my friends going and then messaging them and going, hey, if you have time, it's a little out of the way, but you gotta eat at Veselka. It's so good.
Giving the insider tips.
If you visit New York or if you are at New York, there is a Ukrainian restaurant called Veselka, and it is unbelievably good. And then 2 blocks down from it is the best boba I have ever had in my life.
Ooh.
And the closest location, there's one out here. It's like 40 minutes away, and I'm fixing to make that drive.
Where is it?
It's like Alhambra, I want to say. There's a couple in Southern California, but they're all like
it's more heading towards Inland Empire.
Okay. Yeah, they're all like out of the way, south and out of the way. But they, at least the New York location, they made the tapioca there. Like there was a guy in the window just rolling it, making it, cutting it, and then they kept it warm in like a little heated wok. So you got something with boba, and they just got a scoop of warm tapioca pearls and put it in there and then put the milk tea on top. It was transcendent. It is literally the best boba I have ever had.
I've been to Japan. And I can't get some yet. So
I have been to Japan, and this is the best boba that I've ever had. It was in New York City, 2 blocks down from Veselka. Oh my God.
Interesting.
I miss it. You always find things you like across the country.
Shout out. We got Giga Derek in the chat. Hello.
Hello.
Yes. But yes, let's get into where to go. Yes, things we're excited about. Boom. Katie has some announcements.
There was so much One Piece stuff at New York Comic Con, including the premiere of One Piece Red. I believe this was the premiere of the English dub. That was at New York Comic Con. And they also did a Times Square takeover for One Piece. So for about an hour on, it was either Friday or Saturday. I need to check this. I don't have that handy. You would think I would. But for about an hour, you've all seen Times Square in the media. Some of you have been there in person. All of those billboards, all of the everything in that huge intersection were all taken over with One Piece stuff. It was all clips and branding and the logo they took it over as essentially a promo for One Piece Red. But the fact that they were able to do that at all is... Remember watching One Piece in high school when it was that thing on Fox Kids that other people would judge you for watching? I remember that. Pepperidge Farm remembers. And now it's having movie premieres and taking over Times Square. Look how far we've come. So that is, quite frankly, incredible. Crunchyroll has that footage up. I believe they have some footage up on their socials as well as some images up on their socials. And of course, the One Piece cast was there, and they've all got photos at the Times Square launch, and it is absolutely beautiful.
Yes, I Charles says anime is mainstream now.
Yeah, it is.
I'd say ease of access made that such a more
Oh my
likely
God.
world that we can live in, is because now anybody can watch it on any platform. It doesn't matter what streaming service you have or not, it's everywhere. Which is like,
You no longer have to pass around the videotapes of that thing that you set your VCR to record at 3 a.m. off of Adult Swim, or you no longer have to pay $30 for a DVD with 3 episodes on it at Media Play or Suncoast. Like, I realize I've just hit several of you in the nostalgia, and I know that because it's my nostalgia too. But we are no longer in that world.
Yes.
There are so many things so easily, readily available to us. And the fact that we are getting red carpet premieres for anime movies that aren't Studio Ghibli movies, like, that's always been one of those, like, oh, well, I'll watch Ghibli movies, but that's not like anime. It's like, yes, it's anime. You just think it has a pedigree. Studio Ghibli movies are amazing, don't get me wrong. But the fact that we're getting red carpet premieres for Dragon Ball Z, for One Piece, for just any of them, you guys, this is incredible. We had Goku in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade a couple of years ago. Like,
that was quite a thing too. Yes,
it was quite a thing. So it's big. It's big. It's nice that it's no longer keep it in the basement,
Yeah.
The Fooly Cooly DVD is worth a fortune now. The Evangelion DVDs, those first run Eva DVDs, those white VHSs from ADV, y'all, gold mine.
We also got Rabbit Adler in the chat, says, hello, all, welcome to mopping my kitchen from my earbuds. Oh, yay. Hey, if we're keeping it exciting for you, that's awesome. I was going to say, actually, mainstream, a little pivot from New York Comic Con, but I was like, oh, this looks really cool. All you Yu-Gi-Oh fans, Yu-Gi-Oh is pairing up with Adidas to launch new footwear styles, which I was like, okay,
amazing.
That's the early Anime Day fans going, wait, what? Like a huge name brand in an anime? I mean, it's continuing, but it is still one of those, what? So they are available now. So Adidas Originals X and Yu-Gi-Oh will consist of 2 Adi 2000 styles along to Adalettes. Tells you how much I know about sneakers. Designed in collaboration with one of the most recognizable anime brands in the entertainment history. Or in entertainment history, excuse me. So take a step into nostalgia. They're colorful, skate-inspired shoes feature 2 of the most well-known monsters from the trading card game anime series.
I'm going to go with Blue Eyes White Dragon and Dark Magician.
Yes.
Hey. Yep. I have them hanging in a print above my computer.
They look
that
really
I got
cool.
from the Hypeland pop-up because I am a nerd.
I was going to say that, so I'd say just check out their social so you can see pictures or get your own. Another announcement thing that I was like, oh, wait, dates, because this is tomorrow. Tomorrow night, 9 p.m. is the premiere of Chainsaw Man on Crunchyroll. So 9 p.m. tomorrow, Tuesday, PT, Chainsaw Man. I know if you're in the gore, I'm excited. That one looks really exciting.
Yeah, people who were at New York Comic Con got to watch, I believe, the first episode of Chainsaw Man and also the first episode of Bleach 1,000-Year Blood War. Yes. So, like, if you went to New York Comic Con and you are into shonen anime, you are living. They had some amazing premieres this weekend.
Yes. Any other New York ones that stood out to you? I'm looking at my emails, too.
Those were the big ones. Like, it was all sorts of stuff. It was mostly One Piece, but there was all sorts of fun stuff. We have a few new series coming to Crunchyroll. They mentioned Revenger, The Iceblade Sorcerer Shall Rule the World, By the Grace of the Gods Season 2. They have a few store exclusives. We are getting a formal Levi Funko Pop and a few other things. It's, fun stuff. And a little more stuff for the My Hero Academia Strongest Hero video game. So that'll be fun. But yeah, for the most part, the big ones are the One Piece Takeover, the One Piece premiere, Bleach being back, Chainsaw Man starting up.
Oh, my bad. It's 9 a.m.
That's kind of what I figured.
Yes, 9 a.m. PT. But you know what? It seems like a nighttime anime. So, dark. I don't know.
I was going to say, watch that over your lunch break and then go back to work like, oh.
Another one, actually, speaking of anime series, on High Dive, Dororo is going to be streaming for the first time in English, their dub, and that's starting in January over on High Dive. So that's Dororo. Dororo.
Yes.
So nice. If you're a dub fan, that's something for you.
I remember hearing quite a bit about this anime when it was first airing. So getting the dub for it, that should be a lot of fun. And again, High Dive's got a lot of good stuff, you guys.
And
I would once again
supernatural action. So also great timing for October. Well, it's January, but getting you excited now.
Yes. Yes. Get your spoopies in.
Yeah.
You can have spoopy whenever. And spoopy being released in January is only a death sentence when it's an American horror movie. Everything else is legit. So it's like, oh, a spoopy released in January? It's like, no. That's just American cinema. That doesn't count for other things.
Yes.
Spoopy is good year round.
All right.
Yes. Yep.
Let's give you a moment.
That is the news.
I think that's it for news. I was going to give you a moment for Overwatch, so I'll do the unboxing now.
Yes.
All right.
Let me have my madness. Oh my God. So we are fully into the Countdown Cup. We are fully into the Countdown Cup. We are having a good time. I'm not going to lie. I forgot most of what I watched last week. I know the San Francisco Shock broke their losing streak. Finally. The thing that I want to talk about, for one, we have the APAC region locked in. The Valiant are not going to be participating in the postseason in any way. Unfortunately, they did not play well enough this season. The math has them locked out. It's going to be Chengdu and Guangzhou in the play-ins, and then whoever wins that match goes against the Spark. Whoever wins that match gets to go to the tournament in Anaheim, along with the Shanghai Dragons and the Philadelphia Fusion. And the Seoul Dynasty. There we go. That's all the teams. I'm good at this. So no real surprises there in terms of who's doing the best in APAC, because we're taking the people who have done the best all season, and mathematically, they're done playing matches. They are finished aside from the play-ins. So it doesn't surprise me that our people who are confirmed to come are the Dragons, the Fusion, and the Dynasty, because they've been the best all season. I'm a little surprised that it's Valiant that's out and not Guangzhou, but Guangzhou actually picked up these past few weeks and decided, you know what, we're actually going to be amazing. It's been, hey, Choi Se-won, try winning, and then he does. The entire team has been amazing, but Choi Se-won is definitely the one to watch on there. Kind of a Spitfire DPS. And speaking of Spitfire, I love our matches this weekend. This weekend has just been nuts. We already know who's confirmed, well, most of who's confirmed to be in the playoffs. There's a little bit of mathematical contention over who's in the playoffs and who's in the play-ins. We have a couple of teams that are just barely above the line and a couple of teams that are trying really hard to get out of play-ins so they can be confirmed to be in the playoffs. I know that Atlanta Reign had a weekend. Atlanta Reign had a weekend. They did well for the most part until they hit Dallas. Dallas also had a weekend. We need to talk about the battle for Texas. Because we can no longer talk about the battle for Los Angeles because, once again, the LA Valiant betrayed me and went to China. But that is an organization thing, not a team thing. So, we still support the team. The battle for Texas is the Houston Outlaws versus the Dallas Fuel. Every time they clash, that is the battle for Texas. We had one this weekend. Usually these are over LAN, and generally speaking, and also mathematically this season, the Dallas Fuel is the better team, and the Dallas Fuel have locked up the #1 spot in the Overwatch League. They are currently the best team this season. They cannot win at home versus the Houston Outlaws. They just can't.
I was waiting for the butt there. It's like,
oh yeah, no. Dallas has been phenomenal this season. If you are a Dallas fan, you are eating well this season. It has been absolutely great for them. And the top 3 seeds are, Dallas, San Francisco, and Gladiators. So not a bad time to be a fan of any of those teams. Very rarely is it a bad time to be a fan of the Shock, but it's a real good time to be a fan of Gladiators and Dallas as well, especially Dallas. But Dallas has had, I think, 3 home games where they are the shade from Houston. Yeah. Dallas likes to host the Battle for Texas at the Arlington Esports Arena in Dallas. So it's a bit of an away game for Houston. They don't host all the teams that are playing that weekend. It's just those two. It's a big old event. The fans come out. They sell tickets. There's cosplay. It's a blast. For those of you who've never been to a live event for Overwatch League, if there's one near you, it's always worth it. They're so much fun. It's the reason that people like meat sports and like going to games, but it's for the nerds. You know. So the very first one that they did like this specific LAN one, was at the very beginning of this season. They brought the Houston Outlaws out. And that was when Houston introduced the idea of Dante as a tank player playing Doomfist and absolutely ran roughshod over Dallas in a solid 3-0. This time around, we have a completely different meta. We've moved away from the Junker Queen meta. We've got a few other things. It's kind of brawly. It's kind of fighty. You can do Winston. The Zarya meta is extremely strong, which you'd think would benefit Dallas because their tank is Hanbin, and Hanbin is a standout Zarya player and has been for years. The first two maps... It's a 4-map game. The first 2 maps were very, very contentious. The first one went to Houston. The second one went to Dallas. And then for the second 2 maps, Houston just kind of went, this isn't even our final form. And went nuts. It was... I don't want to stand here and say it wasn't even close, because that is disingenuous. And Dallas did play pretty damn hard. But for the next 2 maps, it was Houston would complete the map, and then they'd hold Dallas, I want to say, just after point A. Or we had a push map where Houston almost completed the entire push map, which for push maps doesn't happen very often. Push is a very difficult map type to complete. It's why most of the victories for that are who got the most distance. Actually finishing the thing is bragging rights territory. So they didn't finish the push map. I think they were on New Queen Street. They didn't finish the push map, but Dallas. Houston just runs on pure spite when they're playing in Arlington in front of Dallas fans, because we've had battles for Texas. I think we had one in the playoffs that Dallas hosted 2 tournaments ago. I'm trying to remember this. It's been a long month. So I think the winning record for Battles of Texas for all time is still very much on Dallas's side. Dallas has perennially been the better team. Houston is fairly cursed in terms of team stuff. It's been, like I said, being a Houston fan is always interesting, never dull for everything that entails. But seeing them come alive in front of a crowd that is 95% blue and a little 5% neon green in the corner screaming their faces off. Houston runs on spite when they do Battles of Texas that are hosted by Dallas in the Arlington Esports Arena. It's pure spite. It's walking out and playing spoiler. It's handing Dallas their first loss this stage. Houston is very cheeky, and Dante is a very good tank, and they're just having a very good time out there. And Dallas, again, I'm not going to sit here and say they played badly. They did not. They definitely had some instances where they kind of fell apart a little, but it was not the whole thing. And for those of you who are watching, you know the instance that I'm talking about, but towards the end of one of the maps, Hanbin switches off the Zarya and pulls out Reinhardt, who is not meta and not a tank that you want to play right now unless you're the London Spitfire, because that is their thing. And we had Uber and Custa casting, and Uber, Hanbin on the Reinhardt, Scott, explain this to me. 2 seconds of dead silence, and then Custa going, I can't explain that. Just like, oh, that's bad. These are 2 very talented casters who are very quick on their feet with commentary, and just having that silence and then, no, I can't explain the choice that this person made in this moment. I don't know what they're doing is, oh boy. So, it was a hell of a match to watch. That was my Saturday afternoon. And as we go into the standings, we have, again, confirmed that our top 4 teams that are definitely going into the playoffs are Dallas, LA Gladiators, San Francisco Shock, and Houston Outlaws. The teams that are, Cleveland, we only have pro teams to ruin other people's seasons. Fair. The teams that are not going to be playing, that are mathematically out, are Paris, Vancouver. I'm trying to remember who the third team is. My brain says it's Boston. I think it might be Boston. I could be completely wrong on this. But Paris and Vancouver are definitely out. So watching the Paris-Vancouver match this weekend, which is just kind of, we're just going a little nuts. It's fine. Watching the teams who are not going to be available in the postseason, who are not able to play in the postseason, play their last matches is always really interesting. Because part of it is, we're just here to have fun. We're here to play the game because we can't have anything else riding on this. We already know we're out. And part of it is, we are going to make the best showing we possibly can, because despite the fact that the season isn't over yet, recruiters are watching. We want the team to look good. We want the players to look good. And I've made comments about, you may be recruited from contenders onto a team that's not doing well, but it's still a step into the league. I keep coming back to the support duo, Luke Mino and Rack Attack, being recruited to Paris about 5-6 weeks ago. Not very long ago, not enough time for the team to gel. Paris just really trying to get something to work. So on the one hand, it's not the best look when you're on a team with a 1-25 record. I think it's 1-25. It's 1 and something. Ouch. Paris won a match. Yeah. Paris won a match, and it was against Vancouver when they were not doing well earlier this season. Paris has had a very, very rough time of it. But the flip side of it is, it's also Luke Mino and Rack Attack and the 2 other people they pulled up from contenders for that team getting league experience, being able to say, yes, I played on this team. I did this. Here are my highlights. Because once you're in the league, it's easier to stay in than it is to get pulled up from tendies. So even if you're not on the best team, you've still made that step. It's still a foot in the door. So I will be interested to see where these pull-ups is not the right word. The people that they brought up from contenders this season, these brand new rookies, I will be very interested to see what their standing in the league is come recruitment time next year, when everything gets shuffled, when we figure out contract stuff, when we figure out who's going with who and who's staying with who. I'll be interested to see where our new rookies go. We did have MVP voting. The MVP voting ended this weekend. We had 10 candidates for that. I am still a little salty that Merritt from the Houston Outlaws was not considered, given that Merritt has had some standout plays. However, I do think the inclusion of both Kevster and Shu was definitely the way to go. And yeah, I think replacements, I hesitate to start. I'm going to go with recruits as a better word. And then I do think we need to address Atlanta making Atlanta mistakes. It's off the field problems. So for those of you who were not around when the Atlanta Reign became a team in the beginning of season 2, one of the players that they recruited was named Defran. And Defran had a history in Overwatch as he had a bad reputation. He is one of those people who would talk a lot of shit. Not all of it would be appropriate. He also encouraged people to throw their games, essentially join the game and then do nothing, and then put throw for Defran in the chat. So a lot of poor sportsmanship surrounding this person. He was only with the team for, I think, part of the first season. He didn't stick around for very long. And there was my personal opinion was, if you recruit someone like that right off the bat, you're bringing their fandom in and you're kind of hitching your team to their star when you're starting out. And that can get a little dicey. So Atlanta is still kind of known as the spoilers, as the maybe not the best attitude. Like, there are still people who don't particularly like Atlanta as a team. And that's, everyone's allowed to have their own opinion. We're not going to go too deep on this, but Overwatch League does have its scandals. We did have the one with Sinatra. If you know, you know. It was a sexual assault accusation from his girlfriend. She had video, she had texts, she had receipts. Whole big brouhaha. He did not cooperate with the investigation. He has somehow gotten off scot-free. But I bring this up because she is currently dating Kai, who used to be on the Valiant under the name KSP, and is currently the superstar DPS for the Atlanta Reign. He's one of those players who can turn a match around just by turning it up a notch or two. Like, he is very much he is a lot of the reason they are doing so well. Well, DeFran has said things about her and said things about Kai dating her. So then Atlanta's like, what if we signed DeFran as a streamer? What if we bring him back into the organization as a content creator? So that was about a week ago. And that contract lasted for an entire 3 hours before, like, basically the news broke and all of League went, are you kidding? Really? Like, talent, coaches, all sorts of people were replying to that announcement with, you've got to be kidding me. Or, Vera. It's universally, it was one of those nobody liked that things. Like, this is universally a bad decision. So so Atlanta, 3 hours later, decided to nullify that contract and drop DeFran. So yeah. So if you see anyone talking about, boy, Atlanta Reign sure made some decisions, that's what it was. Those were not player decisions. Those were management decisions. And they were bad. That decision had to go through multiple people who all thought it was okay. So, yeah. Basically what I'm saying is Atlanta Reign just continues to do this. I don't know what their management is thinking, but they just continue to make these really, really weird decisions. And it's one of those things where you got to separate the team from the management, because right now, as far as I know, the team is pretty dang solid in terms of just being good human beings. Management is making decisions. So, like, that's all the news that's fit to print, but boy, was that an interesting 3 hours. So yeah, it's a lot. But the Battle for Texas was a lot of fun to watch. Yeah, that's I'm not going to be checking a different Discord while we're recording. Like, I appreciate the news, but I'll get to that when we're off camera, you know? That will come back around later. But yeah, if you want to see a completely buck wild match, this week's Battle for Texas, amazing. And then we have one more week of games. And then the semifinals and finals are going to be November 3rd and 4th, and they will be in Anaheim at the Anaheim Convention Center. If anyone's going on the 4th, I'll be there. So, like, come say hi. I will be probably wearing Gladiators gear because they are probably going to be the ones to get into the finals, and losing my absolute mind. We don't know what the finals are going to look like because we will be playing on a different patch, which will include Kiriko, the new character introduced, who had a cinematic drop this past weekend at TwitchCon. So if you're just into Overwatch for the plot and the beautiful videos that they make, there's a new one there. Go check it out. Yeah, should be completely wild.
Giga Derek had a question. Who is your main for each role in game?
I am a support main who is hard stuck in bronze. So it's the question there is, does it matter? Main DPS is Reaper, which is a problem in so many ways, but really works with my hit it till it dies playstyle. Main tank is Sigma because that's the only one I've learned to play with any degree of efficacy. And main supports tend to be Zenyatta or Mercy with a Moira that I can pull out of the pocket if need be. Because it is very, very fun to go complete murder bot while playing Zenyatta and then just call your Discord orb so everyone else can follow up with it. And it's a good time. I like to pretend that I'm Shu. It's fun.
Yay. Alrighty.
So yes, that went places, but thank you.
Unboxing. This one, I'm excited because this is so nice to talk in like the middle of October. Japan Crate has such a fun themed box. I'm like, hold on one second. I'm trying to
They've always got really cute boxes, though,
Yes.
especially for their spooky ones. Their October ones are
There
always
we go.
adorable.
They have the address on the back, so I was trying to cover it up. But the back, too,
yeah.
look at the gate.
Yes, the
And
little Torii gate.
And it talks about what are yokai. And I was like, that's so cool. So, you know,
it
it's
is
not
really
just
cute.
But so this is their October, and for most people, Halloween box. And let's see what's inside. Dun, dun, dun. And carefully show it and not drop everything.
Oh, that's cute. Look at the foxes. Little kitsune. That's so cute.
So every box, in case you are brand new to what Japan Crate is, comes with a wonderful flyer that tells you about everything inside. So don't worry if you can't read Japanese. They always have a bonus item, so that's what we're going to go to first.
Show me the Kitkats.
It is Kit Kat, and it is mint.
Oh.
Japanese mint flavored mini Kit Kats entire bag. Are you interested in trying a refreshing flavor to uplift your spirit? Oh, they did puns too. I like it.
Yes.
The Kit Kat Japan exclusive mint flavor has you covered. Indulge in these mini chocolate bars. Freeze a few bars and add them to ice cream for even cooler way to enjoy. Creative. I like it.
What kind of mint flavoring does Japan use, though? Because there's like a sweet mint, there's peppermint, there's spearmint. Like,
that's a good question. I don't know.
That is a good question.
Because like, hey,
some of it's great, but spearmint is the fruit of the devil. So
yes. Oh, throwback. But Gigadare said,
"Hello, Reaper
friend." High five. Yes.
Look, it's perfect for Halloween, and they have the luchador skins now, so like, it's fun.
Okay. I was like, what is this one? ABC cocoa cookies. So these rich cocoa cookies are full of deep, luxurious flavor with engraved letters of old, ornate font. Have them as a snack with a cauldron of milk for a seriously spooky vibe. Man, Japan Crate, you are going off on the puns and the themes in this. I am so happy about it.
Whoever was writing their copy was having a beautiful time. Perfection.
All right, beverage. Ooh, interesting. Okay, so it looks kind of like a melon. Hold on, I'm trying to.
Is that
kind of see like looks kind of like a cantaloupe?
Like corn.
So it is Kabocha Potage. Oh, it's pumpkin.
Oh, that would
enjoy pumpkin potage. Potage. I'm not
potage, probably.
Potage with 12 kinds of autumn vegetables. This soup. Oh, it's like a soup. This soup is the perfect companion for a day out of ghost hunting. Can be heated in a separate container. That's different. I haven't done one of that before, so I like that. That's very creative.
Potage or potage is a term for a thick soup or stew made by boiling vegetables, grains, and if available, meat or fish.
All right, Japan Crate. I like spicing it up and doing something different. That's neat.
Comes from the same old French root as potage, which is a dish of more recent origin. Okay. So
I'm not as familiar with that. That's very cool. All right, so this one looks very appropriate for Halloween. Horror tattoos and gum. These Japanese horror tattoos will give you a few Halloween costume options. Chew on the included soda flavored gum while you test out your new look.
You've seen Pan's Labyrinth, right?
Yes, that is very much that. Yes, it is.
Oh, yeah. Yep, that guy.
Spookiest thing.
The pale man.
All right, so other quick ones. We kind of have like a zombie gum, which that looks really cool. I was like, most of these are kind of good standard ones.
Yeah.
Okay, this one looks fun. I'm excited for this. I was like, yay. It's like, makes me think of the sour
Look at the little face.
Look at the face. Look at that face. Where'd it go?
That's perfection. Look at that. And it's a heterochromatic. It's got 2 different color eyes.
Oh, indeed.
I'm heterochromatic. Yeah. What do we got?
I was trying to look on the thing, but I'm not seeing it as well. And I'm like,
is the spoopy friend not showing up?
Maybe it is a special one.
Well, it is a spoopy friend.
Pearl candy, but I guess the shape looks different. But anyway, so those are some of the other items you can get in these. Also, Sugoi Mart if you want the more a la carte items. And
I need to make a purchase from Sugoi Mart. They have the crackers that I love back in stock.
These are always fun too. The
cute
do-it-yourself candies. And anything else? Oh, okay. And then also, this has the yokai. Yay! Alrighty.
It's really cute.
I'm also excited for this. Look at that. Those like some garlic chips.
Oh, nice.
So a mix of, we got salty, we got sweet, we have Halloween, we have vegetable soup.
That's so great,
different.
Though.
I like
That's so great.
So yes, thank you, Japan Crate. So go check them out
do?
on social. Yes,
you should make the pumpkin soup and then put the garlic crackers on it.
I like it. You know what? You had the idea the other time. I had
doing nachos.
The nachos, and you know what? It was so good. So if you missed the episode, I had some Doritos, like sea salt nachos. So she's like, and I was hungry, and it was
basically
late,
corn chips.
and I put pretty much like salsa on it and meat and like just whatever I still had in my kitchen. It was really, really good.
I actually got a bag of them myself when I went to Little Tokyo. So it's like, oh, they're there. Great.
They're very good.
And we made nachos. We did the whole black beans. We got steak picado and fried it up.
Is it good? You like it?
Oh my God, yes.
Yay.
The chips are definitely a little weird because they're corn chips, but they're Doritos, but they're like it's a little bizarre. We did half and half with that and like normal tortilla chips, and you could taste the difference, but like you can do it.
Yeah.
It's fun.
All right. So thank you, Japan Crate, on that. So we're going to do real quick. So Overlord, this is my hot take. I felt that ending was a teeny bit underwhelming. It does wrap up things nicely, but after all the like epicness, I felt it didn't leave us on that high. It just kind of plateaued. So I was like,
well, it's not the first season finale for Overlord to have done that. Like, we can't all end in an epic fight with Gazef. Like, we can't all end in an epic fight with Gazef. I feel like season 2 did a similar thing where it was doing its wrap up and its final episode to kind of explain everything.
Yeah.
So, given that we had the climactic fights, given that we got all of those beats in there, like, I am not disappointed with the fact that this was very much a wrap-up episode. Like, I didn't feel like we needed more. And also, at this point, we had seen everything that the opening theme had to show us. Because the opening themes always tell you everything that's going to happen in the season. Like, not beat by beat, but they will show you everything. They showed us the dragons. They showed us the dwarves. They showed us our beautiful idiot. They showed us, the climactic fights. They showed us what was going to happen. And fun trick for those openings, if there is an actual fight that is an even fight and interesting to watch, they will show swords clashing in the opening. So like for this one, we got the Death Knight and that one minor party that we saw earlier. And we got Albedo versus Ava Unit 02, whose name I can't remember. But we did get like actual swords clashing for those. But if it's going to be just basically, this isn't even a fight, it's not going to happen, this isn't a competition, there is no contest here, they just kind of do fun camera angles and zoom-ins. They did that a lot with season 2 with like, what was it like? I don't remember what the name of the gang was, but the people who were never going to be able to stand up against Sebas, they just kind of showed them. For here with the Cocutus versus Brain fight, we got set up and we got a dynamic camera angle, but we didn't actually see any clash. And it's like, yeah, that's because that fight's not actually going to be a fight. And this is true throughout all of the openings. Like, that is the shorthand for what's actually going to be a fight versus like, yeah, no. So yeah, I'm not disappointed. I don't think this needed to be another climactic battle. We just kind of needed to wrap up what we kind of already knew was coming. Following Climb Around was fun. This poor bastard. And I want to reiterate that the two scariest people in this show are Renner and Mare. Fight me. Those two are the scary ones. Because I do appreciate
that Mare was like, gave Climb the warning of, you should leave. It's going to get dangerous. You should go.
He's the one that they're not allowed to kill because he's Renner's little person. Like we had that montage on the back half of Renner's musical number, which was interesting.
Yes. So when do you think Renner became a demon? Has she been one for longer than we think?
No.
Okay.
I think she had that cube in store because it's the cubes that do it. Because we saw her get one as a reward earlier this season, and then the second one that she got in this episode is for Climb. But I think she just had that in her back pocket until the kingdom fell, so that it could be blamed on, oh yeah, no, they did this to me here. Oh no, as opposed to, I wanted this. I get to be functionally immortal, and all I had to do was sell out one kingdom. I came out on top. So yeah, on the one hand,
she's the dangerous one.
Oh my god, and again, Mare, because it's just, I love how this show plays these things. We open this episode with Mare sitting at the edge of the city, trying to figure out the best way to just destroy everything, and getting upset because he wants to do a good job. He wants to do his best, but he can't find the best way to make sure he murders everyone in the city, and that means he can't do his job right, and he's just trying so hard. And on the one hand, it's like, oh, I feel that. Like, we've all been in the, I need to do this right. I need to live up to this. I'm doing this for this person. I don't think I can measure up. Like, we've all kind of been there. But the flip side is, like, he's upset because he doesn't think he can do 100% murders. It's like, you are a child. You are a literal child. So, again, because of this particularly deadly combination of earnestness, innocence, and absolutely buck wild nature power, Mare is the scary one in terms of all of the Floor Guardians. Like, that is the one that I would least want to see across from me. Mare is scary.
Anything else? I was looking down my notes of
poor Climb. Just poor Climb. Also, dollars to donuts, Renner did not need to be told to murder her dad, the king. She just whole ass did it. And then put on a little show.
Yeah.
And then Ein showed up to also put on a little show.
Yeah.
I love it. I do love the theatrics. It's all super fucked up, and let's be real, we're rooting for the villains here. But I do love it. It's pretty great. And then getting to see Marquis Raven at the end. This poor bastard. Like, yeah, just keep doing what you're doing. Just keep, ruling your territories the same as you always have. It's fine. And we'll let you know if there are any law changes. So after this defeat, do you think people are going to think twice before messing with us? Yes. Yes, I do. Great. That's what I wanted to hear. Bye. So just woof. Can't wait for the movie. Can't wait for the movie.
Date on that?
No, we have no further information. No it's all we know that it's like the Community movie. Like, we know it exists at this point, but we have no other info.
Okay. All righty.
Speculation.
Yes. So speaking,
yes, season 5 when? Movie when? Season 5 when? Gimme. Gimme. I want more.
Well, we're getting more of Spy Family and My Hero. Which would you like to talk about first?
Let's do My Hero and then end with Spy Family. And I think that that's the way that we should handle things from here on in, because I get the feeling that this season of My Hero Academia is going to be one sustained anxiety attack.
Yes. So, see, that's one of cliffhanger every episode. That it's like, damn, okay, and yeah. Okay.
So, for both of these, we don't read the manga. We don't want manga spoilers for any of them. I will say that I do have some scattered manga spoilers for My Hero Academia, because sometimes that's just what happens when you're on social media. I don't have enough context to know when any of them happen. So it's mostly just me watching these episodes going, okay, one fear. One fear. Actually, quite a few fears.
Giga Derek does say, Albedo, with my favorite insult at the end, you can only impress me.
Oh my God. Just the acting going on at the end with, are you going to kill Princess Renner? And then Albedo just breaking into that smirk. Like, oh my God, the acting here. The theatrics are amazing. Just damn.
So Charles said, this arc of My Hero is the most intense the show has been.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I mean, it's very exciting, war arc, you guys.
And it's every episode is,
it is whole ass called the war arc. Like, it's the something war. I don't remember which, but the word war is included. It's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot.
I'm going to say Mirako continues to be Bamf.
She's
damn.
amazing. She's amazing. What a queen.
I mean, we knew before, but now we finally get to see what like she can do a little bit so far. It's like,
oh my god.
Wow.
And can we talk about the top shelf Nomu? Can we talk about that? Are they called the top shelf? I don't remember.
Oh, I feel like
they're called top shelf. Because we have grunts, we have medians, we have better tier, and then it's like top shelf or something, the extra special, super special, awesome.
I feel like they wrote like all the other things down, but I think they were top tier or something like that.
Something like that. All right, chat, help us out. What the heck are the super special awesome ones called?
We got Giga Derek saying Mirko didn't hesitate when the Nobus popped up. Damn. Oh,
you don't get to be the high end.
Yes,
that's right. Thank you.
And Mirko
top shelf is for liquor.
Season. Definitely early MVP. Yes, when
she
first barged in, I'm like, shit, she doesn't need backup. She's gonna take everyone out right away. Like, okay, we just send one hero in, and she's like, I'm good. And,
like, could still definitely use the backup though, especially with the high end Nomus. Just like, and again, having them like based on the personalities of who they were when they were alive. Can we just take a second and step back and look at the mass manufactured necromancy that's happening here with the fucking Nomus and knowing that they are all made of dead people? Like, we knew that after last season's Heartbreaker, but like, goddamn. It is a villain's bar, yes. It's the villain's tavern. It's how it should have ended villain's tavern.
Yeah. How it is essentially like people they could have known, and it's like, ugh. And then we got Charles says the Doctor's psycho. Oh my gosh, he is. I do love that Mirko's wants to go, well, I'll just kick him to find out if he's real.
Just, is he real?
And Deborah
I'll find out when I kick him. I'll find out when I kick him. Yeah, but just break his arm.
No, she has that like fuck yeah energy that just makes me so happy too. Of not just a yes, okay, I'll do it, or okay, it's a yes. I'm like, oh yeah.
We stand a queen, and I believe it's Anaris who's going to be voicing her in the dub.
I think so, because she was early on. Yes. So I think that continues. Same. Yeah. Giga Derek says, what's the rating on the show again? Mirko immediately started splitting heads like watermelons. Yes, the gore has amped up a bit on this season.
Rated teen! In much the same way that Poltergeist was rated PG.
Right, yeah, I think it's one of those things.
It runs in Shonen Jump, which means it's meant for like middle school, early high school audiences. That's what Shonen Jump is aimed towards. This is Shonen, not, I think Seinen is older teen. But they occasionally you get some fucked up stuff in teen media. And let's be real, you get that in the English speaking side of things too. This isn't anime realistic. This is people put a lot of weird, fucked up concepts into children's and teenagers' media, and it just kind of flies under the radar because it's for teens. And then you think about it later on, and you're like, "What did I watch?" Yes. So it's not just boy, shonen stuff has gotten really violent. No. U.S. properties do that too.
Yep. Oh, there we go. Charles says shonen's like 8 to 15. Seinen is like 16.
Seinen.
Can do words and things.
So shonen is meant for the middle school crowd. Like that's what it's aimed at. So it still addresses some oh boy concepts sometimes, but like.
Well, it also goes with like how old are your protagonists? Because speaking of the kids, we have our students coming in on the second episode, and I am so glad they're finally showing up and showing some powers because. Like, they've had their times, but this is like, all right, let's do something. And Kaminari, our charge bolt, being our MVP at the end of that episode, I was so excited for him.
I appreciate Kaminari having a very human reaction to all of this. And just being like, we sit here and go, oh, we expect our protagonist to be brave. We expect them to whatever. And then, like, he is a teenager, and his life has gone from, well, I'm going to be a hero to, oh God, we're in the middle of a war and things could get really bad. Like, his life has ramped up like fucking crazy over the past 2 years. And it's a steep climb. Seeing your classmates injured, being in life and death situations that you were not prepared for. Like, this is, even the events of the series are not normal for what's been established for the series and for students at UA. So he is having a very, very relatable reaction to all of this.
Yeah.
It's honestly, I was here for it. Like, I get it. Kaminari's not always like the sharpest tool in the shed, but
no, I liked him. The humanness of being afraid, and he didn't want people to know he was afraid. And go Midnight Sensei for,
having the exact right words.
Motivating him, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, she's a teacher. She's not his homeroom teacher, but like she still knows these kids. He's one of her students, so she knows what to say. And I've been talking about this since season 1 of My Hero Academia. Teaching is a skill. It is learned. It is very difficult to do and do correctly. Teaching is a skill. And that she is able to do that and to give him the exact words he needs and the advice he needs to give him another lesson as a teacher when they're about to go into a combat situation speaks quite a bit to Midnight's skills as an educator. Because again, we've moved away from the classes with some of these arcs, but this is still one of the best shonen shows I've seen in terms of, we have all the action, but we're also going to talk about the education side of things. And just that moment of, boy, teaching is hard. It's like, yes, it is. It's a skill. Value your educators. They work really hard. So
another teacher MVP, Cementos. I was pretty impressed.
Cementos. He's so good. Okay. He's so good.
Because they haven't, almost most of the characters besides like Endeavor and Hawks, we haven't let them, thankfully, we haven't had them in a situation where they had to use their powers full out. So it's fun for us, the viewers, now to see them let loose and go, what's the next level that they can do? Yeah.
Like, we saw him have to interfere during the tournament arc, but like... Yeah.
This level.
That's not to this. This is nuts.
Yes.
And I... honestly, the bits of this that I liked the most, aside from Mirko just kicking ass and not even bothering to take names, was Hawks and Twice.
Yes, I was about to say, I'm a little worried for Hawks of, oh no, are you going to be okay?
And Hawks getting Hawks' internal monologue and the what he has had to do to be able to play both sides and get that information out without making it obvious that he is, like handing that book to Endeavor with all those pages marked. Incredible, crazy spy shit. Like, so good.
Yes.
And just looking at the preview for next episode and going, is next episode just going to be Hawks and Twice throwing down? Because oh god, we're back to one fear territory, and right now that's the fear. So you can't go through the previous arc that we had without coming out of it really liking Twice.
Yeah,
like as a person,
he grew on me more too.
He's such a dipshit, but I like him. And on the one hand, you're like, yeah, overcome that trauma, good for you. And it's like, fuck, he's a villain.
He's kind of chaotic evil. Like, he's not maliciously evil.
Yeah.
He's not,
he's a dipshit.
Yeah.
He is a dipshit who very much fell into this crowd. He's better. He is just, again, he's found his family. He's found these people. He really cares about Toga. It's one of those things where it's like, if y'all weren't like trying to take over the world, I would really like you. But because again, you watch this previous arc that's focused on them, and you're watching these character arcs that you usually see assigned to heroes happen, and you're like, yes, this is awesome. And then you got to go, it's going to be really bad for our heroes down the line. And Hawks pointing out, like, yeah, I heard you'd overcome your issues, and that's a problem for us.
Yeah, there we go. Bad guy, but not a bad guy.
All right, Zangief. Crush man's head between thigh like squirrel, like sparrow's egg.
So good point of how some for Overlord opening shows what's going to happen. So opening for this season shows some intense shots of Hawks and Twice. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, Overlord, I've seen telegraph it more than most shonen shows. Like, they really show you everything in a season. But yeah, no, that does not surprise me. And again, with what we got from the preview, like this is all just going to be very
Yes.
painful. I am expecting this season to hurt me like a lot. And every
I'm
season
excited,
has
though.
like
It's a very
yeah,
exciting
yeah.
season.
Well, every season of My Hero Academia has like half that really goes in and just upends your emotions, and half that's like, wasn't that crazy? All right, let's chill for a minute. And it really depends on which half we get. And I'm honestly wondering if this season isn't going to just be all, did you need those emotions? Oh, honey. Like, I don't, again, I have weird sporadic manga spoilers and I don't have any context or any timeline for any of them. So it doesn't do much
Gotcha.
more than give me anxiety. So I don't know if we're going to have a come down after this or if this really will be
And
all
no
season
spoilers.
balls to the wall crazy. Also, yes, please do not spoil me further and please do not spoil Carrie at all.
Yes.
No manga spoilers. Please don't do that.
Well,
Y'all have been really, really good
Yes.
about that, and we really appreciate you being really good about that. Please continue to be good about that. We really appreciate that.
I feel that's it for My Hero, and then we'll get over to Spy Family, because I was going to say, speaking of anxiety.
Oh my god.
Woo! Man,
This
your
past
and
episode
Anya
was mean.
and our dog. Oh man, so many characters are just going through the ringer of
I'm sure the dog has a name. Right now I've just been calling him Borf.
Yeah.
That
Well,
there
they
is an
haven't named
actual
him yet.
human voice actor just
Yes.
saying Borf for his lines is
Well, it's that funny
amazing.
idea that different countries around the world different sounds for animals. Like we say woof, but in another country they might say orf. You know, like,
I don't think that's the case for this.
I don't think that's it for Japan, but it is. That does happen for other countries. I have seen it, so it's pretty
between
amazing.
meow and yeah. No, I get it, but it's
yes.
Borf is my new favorite boy.
He's adorable. Yes,
Borf
and we got
is my
Anya
new boy.
Bomb Disarming Squad. Man,
all the wires are the same color.
I do appreciate
like. Go ahead. You first.
I was gonna say this comes back to how you've pointed out how and appreciate how much Anya really is like a child, and I like the enthusiasm of a child. I'm going to disarm the bomb. How do you disarm a bomb? Well, it shows intelligence. If she has the gusto of like, I'm going to do this. I don't know how to do this.
It's like,
and what do I do?
Yeah, no, all the wires are the same color was hysterical. Yes. And then just the warning written in ketchup on the door.
The eggplant. No, it's a bomb.
Like the first episode of this season was, we still have this big plot that was set up last season that we need to figure out. The second episode of this season was really intense. Like, especially for this show, but even just in general. Because this, we sit here and go, oh, it's spy shenanigans. It's a found family show. It's funny because the only person who really knows what's going on is she's not actually 6. I just keep calling her a 6-year-old, but she's like 4 or 5. She's bitty. Like, she's the only one who actually knows what's going on. It's a comedy. It's funny. And occasionally it makes you cry because they're found family. And then this show, this second episode, for the first part of it, whole ass tears that mask off and says, hey, remember how this show started with a war? Remember how we've had flashbacks of Twilight as a child wandering through war-torn streets? Remember how all these spy shenanigans are to stop another war from happening? Like, it gets really real there, and in a way that I was not expecting this show to do.
I love the handler, though.
Oh my god, yes.
Ooh, her interrogation.
But I mean, if she's the same age as Twilight, she also grew up during the war. And these university students giving their age, the war was probably over before they were born, or they were too young to remember it.
Yeah.
Because if you're looking at university students, you're looking at like anywhere between 17 and 21, 22. I'm betting these guys are on the younger end. So Yeah, the seriousness of the situation has arrived. Yeah. So just that whole bit of, have you ever smelled burning human flesh? Have you ever done a cannibalism because there was no other food? Have you ever seen someone who followed these orders and then had to deal with the ramifications? Have you ever? And it was so it's kind of hard to talk about. Yeah, they definitely talk about soldier suicides, but the blood running down, becoming the ropes was an incredible artistic decision. Like, this was incredibly well done. And also, again, the show very much ripping off the this is a fun family comedy mask and going, no, we are actually trying to prevent another war here, because everyone in this room trying to prevent that war has already lived through one. So, like, they're not fucking around. Add that to the, hey, let's have a bit where, without Anya's interference, Twilight would have whole ass died. Like,
which side note on that, I do like that it's these visions are not necessarily for sure concrete. The future.
Yeah.
But that I like that idea of time of these are possibilities that can happen unless something changed. You know?
Yeah, I read it as, if we all stay on the same track we're on now, this is what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. The fact that these students act so tough and committed to their cause, but they're using dogs for bombs, which in my opinion is very cowardly and hypocritical of them, says Charles in the chat. Yes. Yeah. Poor dogs. Oh my gosh. When they're like, oh, dog, you're going to die for the cause. Dogs. And I'm like, no.
And these are,
yeah.
Yeah, I completely forgot the word. Oh my God. Established that these are intelligent dogs, that they at least have human level intelligence, and that at least one of them is a precog. Our good pal Borf, he is high enough intelligence to have morals. Most animals do not have morals about things. That's a sapience thing.
Gigadare says his dog is an official member of the family yet, and he's already learned how to weaponize your. Oh man, when she bared her teeth, whoo!
Oh,
love that
too. God!
Gotta have the levity in this because it's like, ooh, this is heavy and dark, and then there's these moments that are so funny, and you're just being Bamf too.
For being our designated assassin, Yor is so much of the comedy in this show.
Yeah.
Like, Twilight continues to be the straight man doing his best, and the women in his life are just so nuts. And he's like, no, they're mine and I love them. Like, these are my people. He will never say that, but he's like, no, these are my people. I am actually proud of this small child when she does good things. Like, I do actually care about this woman that I've married, even if it's fake married. I do. Yeah, no, these are my people. Like,
you can tell he had a couple moments while he was away that he really did want to get back to them too, and wanting to solve this problem because it affects them as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Part of it's like, yeah, no, I need to maintain my cover with my family. They'll get suspicious. Yes. And part of it is just like, they're my people. It's like, again, things that he feels and probably is not aware of, let alone have the words for, let alone be willing to say them. Like, we are a number of steps away from that, if ever, because part of the comedy is none of them ever saying it and all of them feeling it.
Yes.
And then poor Anya, like, I could tell her, but they would think I was weird and maybe they'd get rid of me. It's like, oh, the perpetual anxiety of a psychic 4-year-old. Yep.
It's one of those, it doesn't make sense, but it makes sense as child logic of, oh, this is a problem and this has happened before, it would happen again. It's like, oh, Anya.
Yeah. It's like, I got this far by reading minds, but also pretending to be normal. I have to figure out how to do this without letting on that I can read people's minds, because then they'll get rid of me.
Mm-hmm. Well, this one also I'm excited to see where it goes next, because it's,
oh my God,
it goes by so fast. It's so interesting. It's so engaging. And then and credits. No.
Twilight being disguised as the minister leading Keith on a wild goose chase.
And his like acrobatics too. Yes. And the guy, I thought he was an old man.
I thought their minister was a 60-year-old geezer. What is this? I'm like, no, this is amazing. But also the show cutting away from like, are we gonna kill a dog on screen?
I was wondering that
really
too.
hard to come back. Like they have to be able to figure out a way around it because that is one of those things where it's extremely hard to come back from. Like even as a comedy, you don't get away with like, again, whole ass killing animals on screen.
Yes.
Especially animals that are pets.
As Fizz yells too.
Fizz is like, no, don't do it. So it's like, yeah, we have that, and then we cut away, and it's like, would Twilight do it? Yes, absolutely. This is a bomb dog.
Yes, and it's one of those. His life is in danger in this moment of the dog coming at him.
Yeah.
And I would also, it's both. I can see the please don't kill the dog, but also Twilight, I don't want you to die. So I feel Twilight's creative enough. We'll figure out a way to disarm this dog and make it safe.
Yeah, it's just like in character, he would do it. By the logic of the show, he would do it. On this side of the fourth wall, they have to figure out a way to manipulate the circumstances so that he does not do it, because it's hard to redeem a character who just straight up kills a dog.
Yes.
That is some Michael Myers shit. And we don't go there. You don't go there with your likable, fun protagonist. Like, nope. That's a very hard line to cross. And again, this particular episode dealt with some extremely rough shit. But that's also something that this would have implications going forward. So I think this dog is going to be fine. I don't know what they will do with this dog later on, but I'm putting money on the dog is not going to die. Because they've also apprehended the other students, the other dogs, etc. Like, I think this dog is going to be fine. Because I think if the show goes there, it's a shift that it can't recover from, especially as a comedy.
Agreed.
Killing the dog is some horror movie shit. That's what that is.
All right. Well, we hope it goes not that direction. And we'll have to see next week.
We'll find out on Saturday, where we watch My Hero to have some anxiety and Spy Family to hopefully alleviate it.
Yeah. All right. So some other things you should check out here when we're at the end of our show. Some other programs, books, or whatever we're checking out, you should check out. Or that we would like to recommend to you. So one of them, speaking in the spooky season, the new Interview with the Vampire series on AMC.
Really?
Oh my goodness. I like it. It is, they have changed some things.
It's hella gay.
Well, there are some things in it that's like, okay.
Yeah.
I like how they have it in the story, how they address it, their relationship and everything. Okay.
And to be clear, hella gay is not a bad thing.
Yes, not a bad thing.
Just gonna throw that out there, like, oh, I hear it's real queer. Let's fucking go.
Right. Well, because it's that representation of you don't get other kinds of relationships on most TV shows, unfortunately, because it's like there's not just one type. So you can watch it on AMC if you have a basic cable package. You can watch it on like the AMC website or something. I have it on AMC Roku, so you just watch it on there. But yeah, I've only maybe read the first Interview with the Vampire book, and watching the behind the scenes is kind of a combination of some of the other books as well. And they've changed the time period and Louis himself too, which I think is a fun or a fresh take on it, which it's still the core of that story. But here's some different things so it doesn't feel like, oh, I've already seen this, or what are you bringing new to the table? So I do recommend it. It is very gory. It is PG-13 on the sexiness, because this is depends who you're watching it with, of do you want to turn on with your parents around? But are you alone or with your friends or your partner? Yeah, sure, that's probably fine. I mean, maybe it's some butt and boob and like insinuated sex, but it's really well done. It looks really great, and I just started watching it, so I like that one a lot. Also, side note on something else super gay in a good way, A League of Their Own, the TV show. Oh my goodness, go watch that. That is all kinds of sapphic love and different kinds of it, which is really great how they explore that in the show, because it's not the exploring labels, like why is this label on myself, what I call myself. And I think that's really great that a show's exploring that, even though it's in a different time period. So much of it is still relevant today, and it's also super well made and like strong ladies cast that's like, yes, female representation. And yes, so go check that out. That one's on Amazon.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah, I hear good things.
I like it a lot.
Yeah. If we're speaking of spoopy and gay, Critical Role. As I sit here with my Beholder t-shirt from Death
there
Saves.
You go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Beholders are my favorite D&D monster. They're so fucked up.
I just have this fun.
Yeah. That is fun.
Yes.
That is fun. Yeah, Critical Role is still going strong. They are doing some hella spoopy things right now, and I am very excited about that. So if you are into it, absolutely. They're also still releasing it as a podcast if you want an audio version so you can like do chores or drive or whatever while listening to it. Pardon me. Always recommend Critical Role. Hocus Pocus 2. Hocus Pocus 2 is amazing.
It's so fun.
I've seen, mixed reviews. Some people like the way things were treated. A lot of people don't. I like it better than the first one. The first one is a lot of fun and very good, but it never really quite hit that level of, yes, I love this. I'm going to put it in my eyeballs every season. This one, oh my God, yes. This one I adored. And I'm not going to say, watch the second one, don't watch the first one. No, they work best as back to back.
They work so well together. That's what I did. I rewatched the first one right into the second one, and it works perfectly to go from one to the next.
And I love what they did. I love you don't want to sit here and be like, oh, it's updated, oh, it's modern jokes, but like the modern jokes that they did do were hysterical. The Roombas just about killed me. So I really enjoyed Hocus Pocus 2. It's on Disney Plus. Highly recommended, especially if you like the first one. Again, form your own opinions. I liked it better. Everyone is entitled to think what they would like to think, and a sequel's always going to be a little divisive. But yeah, I really enjoyed Hocus Pocus 2. Other spoopy things that also spoopy and gay. Damn, we're just got a trend here. Chucky season 2 premiered this past week it's airing on Sci-Fi. So if you got a cable package, you can log in and watch it. I installed the Sci-Fi channel on Roku and then logged in, and it was great. I actually haven't watched all of season 1. I got an update, and then I watched the kill count, which was a great summary. I was not expecting to sit down and watch it because it is definitely more of my roommate's thing. And then it was that sort of thing where I just didn't leave while it was on. And now I'm going to be watching the rest of the season with her. Child's Play, the Chucky franchise, is not really my bag when it comes to horror. But man, if this TV show isn't great. It is very solid. Again, the animatronic work and the puppeteering are fantastic. The voicing is amazing. And it is in continuity with the Chucky series. So like if you're a big Chucky fan, if you've really liked the series of movies, and it's one of the only horror series that has kept a straight continuity throughout all of its movies. So like there is telling a full story there. So if you like it and if you like the Child's Play franchise and you haven't seen the show yet, watch the first season. And then the second season is airing on Sci-Fi. And it's Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Pacific. Yes, Wednesdays at 9. If you like Child's Play, you will love this show. I'm not the biggest fan of Child's Play, and I still really enjoy this show. And if
I haven't watched the show yet, but I hear good things.
Yeah. I mean, it's really good. The teenager actors that they have and a couple of the little kid actors, like all of them have been absolutely fantastic. Straight up queer romance between the two leads. I'm here for it. Let's go. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And this season has a lot of promise in the premise. So highly recommended. And if you're like, I've never seen a Chucky movie, I want to do a quick catch up. I've talked about this channel before on YouTube. They're called Dead Meat. They do kill counts. Watching a kill count does not replace the experience of watching a horror movie. But if you're like me and you can't get through a lot of horror movies, but you do still kind of enjoy like the story and the content and whatnot, kill counts are a really good way to do that. He recently did what he calls recounts of the Chucky franchise, which means he did brand new videos and talked a lot more about interviews, behind the scenes stuff. Like it's really interesting all the behind the scenes stuff that goes into making Chucky movies, with special effects, with working with the animatronics and the puppets, and when is Chucky actually played by a little person or a small child while on set. And he also did a kill count for the first season of the show. So it's really good, quick summaries with a lot of really interesting behind the scenes bit and a lot of really good jokes. So if you want to do a quick Chucky catch up and then get into the series, I recommend watching the kill counts. And then he's also doing an episode by episode after show. So it's a good time. It's, if you are a Child's Play fan, you are eating well right now. It's a good time to be one. Yeah, I recommend the show. It's, if that is the sort of thing you are into, the show is a lot of fun. And also the show is allotted 10 fucks per episode. So they do just whole ass swear on television.
Oh, they should. Especially for that. For the Chucky franchise, yes.
Oh my God, yes. That evidently that was part of the contract for season 1, was that they are allowed to say fuck 10 times per episode. So the last time on is always last time on fucking Chucky. It's like, oh my God, yes.
10 out of 10.
Aww. All right. Is it the 10th? Oh my God.
It is.
What day is it? Well, thank you.
Thank you. Well, we do have to wrap up.
So thank you. Been going for a bit.
Yes. Thank you so much for watching Nighttime at the Nerd Bar. Make sure to give the video a thumbs up. Click that subscribe button. Go check out the Fanversation channel on here, as well as it's over on Twitter and Instagram. Yael Teagle went, and she's part of Fanversation, if you didn't know that. Yes. And she went to New York Comic Con and has some really cool interviews and footage of that. So go check that out. Katie, where can people find you online?
You can follow me all over the social medias, as well as on YouTube and Twitch at Kiaxet. That is Kiaxet. If you like reaction videos, they live on that YouTube channel. I don't have it up yet, but I do have a reaction for the Kiriko short that I mentioned that premiered this past weekend. Keep an eye out for that. In the spirit of spoopy season, I am also a co-host on Silver Screams. That's Silver Screams on YouTube. And we have fun. And if this pans out the way I think it will, we're going to have a reaction to the Spirit Halloween Store trailer for that movie. That's going to happen sometime soon. In the meantime, if you want to get into the Halloween spirit, because Halloween Ends drops this Friday, the reaction to the Halloween Ends trailer is it's a fun one. It's a fun one. My roommate's the one that's really into horror, and I'm the one that always kind of jumps out of my skin, and the Halloween trailers are very good at that jump out of your skin sort of moment. So, like, yep, it's a fun time.
Nice. You all can find me online. There we go. Carrie D. Lane, that's Karidlane, across all social media platforms. Yes, coming to you on the Monday Tongue Twister Energy. Woohoo! Oh, yeah. Again, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more exciting stuff coming your way, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Bye.